How do you create freedom? How do you create freedom? We live in a democracy. Yeah, we're fortunate to live in a democracy in this country. And in the West, the world is designed in the West around democracies. Yeah, that we are free to choose and we have the vote, and we're encouraged to be free. But how free do you feel? If you were to describe or draw a picture of your freedom, what would it look like? And where's the challenge in that ideal versus what's really happening? Are you free to choose what you do with your time? Or is it just a thin veil of a form of control? And what do I mean by this? I'm not meaning there's any conspiracy here. I'm just really getting curious about the mindset that we all have, the collective mindset of society, of cultures, of Western values, and globalization. And they're all interact with each other, and I'm curious as to what our part as individuals is in this story, in this creation of the world that we know. And how often do you allow yourself to step back from it all and actually really question the part that you're playing, and really question, am I free? Am I really free? Is this the life that I really want to be living? Yeah, and if it's not, then what would that life be like? And what I see is there's an opportunity for all of us to actually grow that freedom inside us. And what do I mean by that? Well, just allowing yourself to slow down and step back from yourself, from your own life, almost observing yourself in how you're going about your life, how you're creating your day, how you're creating your relationships, what you're doing at work, who you're being, and just sort of stepping back and looking at it and getting curious about, why am I doing it in a way like that? Is that really me? Am I really being free? And in that moment, am I really coming from the spirit of myself? Or am I just playing a part that is somehow being controlled by something else, whether that's culture or society, or the way you've been brought up? And the more you do it, the more you step back, the more you can start to see how you can be free, how you can be free of the story around you. And the more you become free of it, the more you can observe it. And in that observing, it's not necessarily about trying to control it, but it's about giving yourself permission to mess up, to go for risk, be more adventurous, because by observing your actions, you can fine-tune those actions and reactions into, well, actually, no, I want to create this. I want to create this level of being, and in that is freedom. And you'll become more aware of the fact that before you were just walking or going through life almost in an unconscious way, just following the path, being part of the status quo. And it's not until you start to step back and start to look at things slightly differently, and that comes from the art of slowing down. And I call it an art because it's something that we can create in ourselves. and we can learn to nurture that ability to slow down and notice what is around us. And I think in that very sort of noticing, I just think there is such freedom in that, such an element of awe, and you might call that presence. And maybe that's what presence is being free in that moment with no, I have to get there, I have to do this. It's more of, oh, I could choose to do that. Oh, I must do this. So I invite people to be curious about where they are in their lives and what they can do to change it. What actions do they need to take? I've working on myself over the last few years and helping others. The art of slowing down is something that we can that is challenging, and not many of us do it. The world that we live in is moving faster and faster and faster, and everything is becoming more and more immediate. And so that ability, that craft and art of slowing down, of creating freedom in that moment, can really open up your awareness to what is going on. And in that is what is important. What is important for you and for the people around you. And I'd say you probably find out the stuff that you're doing isn't as important as you thought. Certainly I found that out. And in that realization is then, what would you want to do? What would you want to change? And how can you go and do that? What little steps can you do, take to make that change in your life? And if we all did that, I think the world would change quite a bit. If you got to the end of this video, please subscribe, hit the notification bell. I'd love to hear any comments on this. So if you have anything to say or you disagree with it, great. I'll reply to every response. Take care.